So, they decided to make another Toy Story movie. Again. It's getting to the point where I think Disney really did just make a deal with the devil that went something like,
Sure, yes. I will bless you with the ownership of all these treasured, prosperous IPs, along with the revenue and opportunity that each of them will surely grant you. However, you must hereby be relieved of all the intelligence, creativity, innovation, and common sense that might aid you in the production of any new additions to these many beloved franchises.
that seems to be the only logical explanation to me. Toy Story 5 is by far and away the most boring and pointless film in the franchise so far. At least the fourth film had the decency to grossly brutalise the characters we had once loved so dearly. This new movie merely castrated and minimised them to the point at which they're basically non-entities in the story. It's Jessie who's the big boss now. For some reason, in Woody's absence, because yes, Woody is absent now, remember? Buzz did not assume the leadership role which has previously come so naturally to him in not only one, but three of the previous Toy Story movies. Instead, he has voluntarily stepped aside and allowed Jessie to rule the roost, which the writers obviously see as a completely natural choice considering Bonnie's decision to promote the cowgirl to sheriff in the previous film. However, what these genius script doctors are forgetting is Toy Story 4 is just as much of a catastrophe as its sequel. Buzz may not be officially selected as sheriff by Bonnie, but does that mean he has to completely undermine himself to become what is now, quite frankly, a blundering, blubbering simp? No, is the answer, in case you were wondering. Buzz sucks in the movie. He goes from being the most competent, athletic, and level headed of all the toys to being relegated to a stupid, shy idiot who is constantly falling over himself and fawning over an entitled and oblivious Jessie. You know, Jessie, she needs a deputy. He says something like that. I can't really do Buzz's voice because I'm not a 70-year-old American man. Then the only time Buzz does try to act even remotely like his former self, when he leads the army of Buzzes towards the end of the film, he refers to Jessie as their toy leader, with this stupid, smitten look on his face. He tries over and over again to propose to Jessie, and when he finally gets the nerve to, she ends up asking him. And when they kiss, he does the classic swooning heel lift thing that everyone does in films. He even walks down the aisle at their wedding towards the end, like he's the bride. It's like the writers hate that he's cool, and even more, they're afraid of making Jessie even remotely feminine, which is so weird and just cringeworthingly forced. They do the exact same insufferable thing with Bo Peep, just like she was in the previous film. She just stinks. She constantly patronizes Woody, dropping him off via an RC car at the beginning of the film like she's dropping off a little boy at school. Call me when you're done helping, honey, she says. Ugh. Woody himself is basically pointless throughout the entire movie. He could easily be taken out of it and nothing in the story would change whatsoever. He even makes a comment at the end after his mum, Bo Peep, picks him up and asks him if he's managed to successfully help. Well, yeah, we just followed Jessie's lead. Ugh. It's so embarrassing. Everything is about Jessie. Everything Buzz and Woody talk about is Jessie. It's so boring. Nothing happens worth writing home about in the entire film. There are no action set pieces a la the car chase at the end of Toy Story 1, the Buzz and Zurg fight scenes, or the crossing the road scene in Toy Story 2. Even the third movie had Woody's escape scene and the sequence at the dump with the magnets and the incinerator. This movie has nothing beyond a few scenes where Jessie has to sneak around a house without getting spotted. And then the most exciting moment of the film is when the army of Buzzes turns into drones.
Boring!
As for the plot, well, it's quite basic, which isn't inherently bad, but this one is. Bonnie is being bullied because she still plays with toys and the other kids play with these tablets called lily pads, and she's feeling left out, so her parents buy her one. Way to succumb to peer pressure, guys. The lily pad that Bonnie gets is basically seen as the villain of the movie, but, well, to be honest, maybe you should just watch the movie for yourself to decide who the actual evil agents are, before you just accept what these neurologically challenged writers think. Lilypad isn't a bad guy. She just wants what she thinks is best for Bonnie. She tries to make her friends and is devastated when Woody and Buzz unplug her charger, stopping Bonnie from being able to join them. The toys don't even try to understand her perspective, and they're incredibly closed-minded to what she's trying to accomplish, even if she is misguided in her understanding of what it means for kids to truly have friends. Woody and Buzz even force Lily via voice recognition to do what they say, even though she is clearly uncomfortable and actually quite terrified of the fact. Lily even sacrifices her own playtime for the good of Bonnie when she jumps into the donation box at the end of the film. She doesn't do anything for herself in the entire movie, and the only thing she ever does is try to do what's best for her kid. None of the toys have ever had to reconcile that fact, and none of them apologize for it. Certainly not Woody and Buzz, who actually tried to turn her into some kind of Siri-powered voodoo zombie. There are plus points to the film, like the play sequence with Blaze is kind of interesting and pretty creative, but it's not exactly exciting, and it doesn't really compare to any of the ones from Toy Stories 1, 2, or 3. The way they get Blaze and Bonnie to meet is kind of clever and well executed, and some of the new characters are pretty cool, like Snappy and Smarty Pants, though I'm not really sure of the mechanics of their technology and whether or not it works or should work the way it does. The way they kind of try to wave it away by simply attaching the three of them together with micro USB cables is not really very convincing. The movie definitely picks up a little bit later on with the whole drama of Bonnie abandoning Jessie and Bullseye because she's being bullied by the other kids for still liking toys, but it does just feel a little bit too late and unearned based on the previously established story of this movie, and instead it's kind of counting on the audience remembering and caring much more about Jessie's backstory from the second film. Though the payoff at the end is nice, where you kind of find out that Jessie's former owner, Emily, named her daughter after her favourite cowgirl. But it's actually a bit of a shame, because if the movie wasn't so desperate to make us care about Jessie as the absolute leader and undisputed main character of the film, we would have likely already found this moment fairly satisfying. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing like the character moments that happen in the first 3 films, but it's better than anything else in this empty installment. We don't need all the Sheriff Jessie, ooh, Sheriff Jessie, she's our leader. Jessie, yes, Jessie, I'm your deputy. No, I'm her deputy. No. It's just not necessary. There's no reason for Jessie to be running the show in the way that she is in Woody's absence. And by the way, Woody's absence is still absolutely ridiculous. Especially because Buzz has absolutely always been the one to step into a leadership role when Woody's out of action for whatever reason. Instead, both Woody and Buzz are sidelined and neutered for the sake of forcing Jessie into a position more than she has ever had to be in before. And while we're speaking of reduced roles, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, Slinky, Ham, Rex, and all the other side character toys from the previous movies are absolutely and entirely shelved for this film. You hear next to nothing from them for 99% of the movie. No clever banter, no snarky comments, no petty arguments or sarcastic remarks. They're all incredibly boring, dull, and empty. Overall, the film is a waste of time, and nothing like the first 3 films of the franchise, in any way whatsoever. If you're a parent, don't take your kids to see this movie. Save your money and take them to Spider-Man instead. If you're a child, don't ask your parents to take you to see this film. Watch TrueShame YouTube videos on your lily pads instead. If you're a living, breathing human of any kind, just watch Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 and be done with them, because nothing worthwhile will ever come from this franchise again.